Adanna, where are you? Panic surged through her as she and Chuks scrambled to their feet. But it was too late. Mr. Chuks burst into the room, his eyes widening at the sight before him. What is going on here? In the small Nigerian town of Okija was Grace Community High School, a modest building with peeling walls and crowded classrooms. Despite its humble appearance, it was a place of immense pressure for students. For 17-year-old Adanna Chuks, life revolved around two things: her books and her parents' expectations. Her father, Mr. Chuks, was a strict but caring secondary school teacher known for his no-nonsense attitude. "You must not fail. Do you hear me?" he often told Adanna, his voice a mix of encouragement and sternness. Adanna, the eldest of 4 siblings, bore the weight of the family's hopes on her slim shoulders. Her dreams of becoming a doctor were not entirely her own, they were her father's, rooted in his desire to lift the family out of poverty. On the other side of town was Chuks, a boy with an easy smile and a reputation for trouble. Unlike Adanna, Chuks wasn't the first name that came to mind when teachers discussed promising students. Since the death of his father, Chuks had taken on the responsibility of supporting his widowed mother and younger brother. By day, he was the charming joker in class, but by night, he worked odd jobs to keep food on the table. His struggles were invisible to most, hidden behind his confident exterior. Adanna and Chuks' paths had always crossed, but their interactions were brief. That changed during a group project assigned by their English teacher, Mrs. Rita. They were paired together, along with 2 other students, to research African literature. At first, Adanna was hesitant. She knew Chuks' reputation and feared he would leave all the work to her. But as they worked together in the school library, she saw a different side of him. "Chinua Achebe is my favorite author," Chuks admitted one afternoon, surprising Adanna. "Really? I didn't expect that," she replied, raising an eyebrow. "Why not?" "You think I don't read?" he teased, his smile disarming her. Over the weeks, they grew closer. Chuks' humor lightened Adanna's serious nature, while her determination inspired him to try harder in school. Their friendship blossomed, though Adanna kept it hidden from her family. It was 2 weeks before their WAC exams. Adanna's house buzzed with activity as her younger siblings played and her mother prepared dinner. Her father sat at the dining table, grading papers. "Adanna, focus on your books. These exams will determine your future," he reminded her for the 100th time that week. "Yes, Papa," she replied, though her mind wandered. Around 8 p.m., her parents left for an overnight church vigil. "Lock the doors and stay inside," her mother instructed before leaving with the younger children. Adanna nodded, already planning to use the quiet night to study. But as she flipped through her biology textbook, her phone buzzed. It was a message from Chuks. "I need to talk to you." "It's important." Adanna hesitated. She knew better than to meet him at night, but curiosity got the better of her. She replied, "Where are you?" "Outside your house." Her heart raced as she tiptoed to the front door, careful not to make a sound. Chuks stood under the streetlight, his face partially hidden in the shadows. "I just needed someone to talk to," he said softly. His usual confidence was gone, replaced by vulnerability. Adanna invited him inside, and they sat in the small living room. He opened up about his struggles, working late hours, feeling like a disappointment in school, and the burden of caring for his family. "You don't have to do it all alone," Adanna said, her voice filled with empathy. Chuks smiled. "Sometimes, it feels like I do." As they talked, the tension between them shifted. What started as a heartfelt conversation turned into something more. One thing led to another, and they found themselves in Adanna's bedroom, committing an ungodly act. The sound of the front door opening shattered the moment. Adanna's father's voice boomed through the house. "Adanna, where are you?" Panic surged through her as she and Chuks scrambled to their feet. But it was too late. Mr. Chuks burst into the room, his eyes widening at the sight before him. "What is going on here?" he thundered. Adanna tried to explain, but her father wasn't listening. He dragged Chuks out of the house and called for the neighbors, his voice echoing through the night. By the time Chuka's uncle arrived, a small crowd had gathered outside. Adanna stood frozen in shame as her father recounted what he had seen. "You've brought disgrace to this family. Instead of studying, this is what you're doing." Chuka was taken home by his furious uncle, while Adanna was left to face her parents' wrath. The next day, the story spread like wildfire. At school, whispers and stares followed Adanna and Chuka wherever they went. The principal called their parents for a meeting and announced their suspension. Adanna's mother wept, blaming herself for not keeping a closer eye on her daughter. Her father, though silent, was filled with disappointment. Chuka's mother, on the other hand, lashed out at him, threatening to send him away to live with a distant relative. The following day, Mr. Chuks visited Chuka's family to confront his parents. It was there that he learned the truth about Chuka's struggles, how he worked late nights to support his family, often sacrificing his schoolwork. At home, Adanna's younger sister revealed something that shook their parents. "Adanna helps me with my homework every night, even when she's tired. She's always studying, but she also takes care of us," the little girl said innocently. Realizing they had been too harsh, both families decided to approach the situation differently. Instead of punishing the teenagers, they chose to offer guidance and support. Adanna and Chuka were allowed to return to school after their suspension, though under strict conditions. They worked hard to rebuild their reputations, determined to prove themselves. Months later, at the WAC results announcement, Adanna emerged as one of the top scorers in the state. Chuka, too, passed with flying colors, a testament to his resilience and newfound focus. The incident that could have ruined their lives became a turning point. Adanna learned the importance of setting boundaries, while Chuka realized he didn't have to face his struggles alone. Their friendship endured, built on mutual respect and understanding. As Adanna delivered the valedictory speech at their graduation, she said, "Mistakes don't define us. What matters is how we rise after falling."